Morning, everybody. It's Monday. Can you believe it's Monday already? Monday at Twisted Tug Studios. Tug here. Hope you guys had a really good weekend. I had a busy weekend. Busy. The serial killers are flying off the shelves. So we did Dahmer last week, and Dahmer went within 24 hours. Ramirez, I think I did the next day or 2 days later. Ramirez went within an hour. I had about 3 or 4 people the night before say, when are you going to post him on? He's mine. He went within an hour. So I can't keep the serial killers are popular. Everybody loves the killers. So we're supposed to do Manson today. I know I promised. I did a little flash that was going to be Manson Monday, but we're going to change that to Manson Tuesday because I just didn't have time to do the photo shoots. But we're going to give you a little peek at Manson today in this segment. Some quick things I want to share with you guys, the Twisted family out there. David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown in Terrorizer and upcoming Terrorizer 2. I kind of told you guys he has a special needs sister who came down with COVID. She's fine. She's good. She tested negative. So I want anybody that was sending their positive mojo out to her. You did a good job. She's cured. Perfect. That's it for, I think, the shout-outs that I want to do today, except for one special shout-out. You can see this guy here. This is a Edgar Allan Poe. I put an arrow through his head. We're using that for a photo shoot later, but these things get me every time. Ouch! This is Edgar Allan Poe rubber mask that a friend of mine in New York, Bill, sent to me a few days ago, and I who doesn't love Poe? Little Poe mask here. Poe. And back in New York, I'm from New York originally, and I was the guy 20 years ago that did all the CD covers for the local bands and worked with the local bands and had a great time, the hair band era. And I had a guy one time in a band called Virgin back in upstate New York, and he brought his guitar to me, and he wanted to paint. I did a little logo. Her name was Sissy Squat, and it was like a little cartoon girl in negligee with boobies. And he wanted me to paint her on his guitar with a paintbrush. I didn't have any fancy techniques back then. It was paintbrush I did drum heads and he sat there. He pulled up a chair and he actually sat there like this the entire time, watching me hand paint this girl on his brand new guitar that he just had, like whatever he had, lacquered or whatever. That stays in my mind. I did a good job. I did it. Talk about under pressure. Anyway, back in those days, I worked with a band called Wanted. Roland, Bill Dolan, and I did all their other logos and their CD covers. And Bill Dolan went on to be, believe it or not, a part-time cop and fire instructor. But he did his gig with all the bands. He played the Whiskey in LA. He worked with a band called the Erotics. He did the Cavern in Liverpool. He worked with Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses. He went on to do his big thing before he settled down and had lots of babies. But anyway, this is from Bill. Love him. Thank you, Bill. Rock on. Wanted. We're going to have a Wanted reunion soon. Let's show you some of the dolls. Get to the dolls here. This is, I kind of try to show you. I know everyone's asking me, and it's a good idea. I'm going to try to do one of those speed up videos where you see me sculpting and you see how the actual process goes with making these dolls. Starts off with a vintage dummy. These are all from the 70s. These are hard to find. The dolls I start out themselves are collectible dummies that are worth a lot of money. Just right off the cuff, I'm starting with collectible dolls. And then what I will do is this one has inserted glass eyes, and I'll do the sculpt over the doll. Let's see if you can see her eyes. This is going to be like a little ghost girl, a little up to no good girl. And I did her sculpt in her eyes, and this is kind of how, if you guys are familiar with Lulu, we did Rotten Rosie for Raymond in New York City. Pauline, these are the same kind of little, everybody loves, they eat these up. They eat these little ghost girls up. A more elaborate ghost girl I want to show you, one of my favorites I did. I love Shelly Duvall. I love her. She's had some rough times lately, if you've seen any of the Dr. Phil videos, but I still love her, and I love all her scenes in The Shining. I am captivated by this woman. My favorite scene in The Shining, as I mentioned before, is where she's talking to Danny's doctor and she has that cigarette that she just refuses to flick, even though it's 4 inches long. And that whole getup. Who did Shelly Duvall's clothes in The Shining? I don't know. Did they just tell her, Shelly, wear what you want to wear? They're insane. So this one doll I did, this is my favorite scene. This is her in that scene. Wait till you see this. So here's Shelly Duvall in the scene. She's got like men's long johns on. This is what she wore in the movie. And then she has like this kind of pinafore apron, and then she's got like the Timberlands on with the long john underwear, and I even found a little watch. She has that watch when I don't have a cigarette yet, but try to get her to quit smoking. But this is Shelly Duvall. Let me see if I can. Really happy with how she came out. There she is.
I'll come back with a couple of sandwiches.
I wanted to show you guys something. I've been working on this. Look what I got. So I'll take my hat off here. Look what I got. Are you ready? I'm gonna bash your brains in. Like you were there. Right? Shelley Duvall, Wendy Torrance from The Shining. If you guys saw Dr. Sleep, they did the sequel. Amazing movie. I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but the scenes that they reenacted, the Shining scenes, gave me goosebumps. They really were loyal to Stanley Kubrick. And they have an actress playing Shelley Duvall, and I'd be very picky about that. And she actually did a really good job. What not a lot of people know, if you have seen Dr. Sleep, is they actually dubbed, because a lot of people say, she sounded just like her. They actually dubbed Shelley Duvall's voice from The Shining over the actress's voice, yelling, Danny! So it's actually her. Here's the crazy thing. The Jack Nicholson scene where Danny goes into the bar and sees his father as the bartender, Jack Nicholson, that was, I'm going to get the name wrong, Philip Henry Thomas, is that what I'm going to say? He was the kid from E.T. The little boy from E.T. plays Jack Nicholson in Dr. Sleep and looks exactly like him. Crazy. Couldn't believe it. Shelley Duvall Shining. Let's give you a sneak peek at Manson now. Charles Manson, we're not going to get to the whole bio and all this. I won't give you the whole background. Everybody knows who Charles Manson is. Wonderful guy. Mr. Sunshine. So this is, I wanted to show you this before I get into John Wayne Gacy, who's a whole other story. He's in a whole other can of worms we're going to open up later. But John Wayne Gacy, who is the famous serial killer who hid bodies of men and boys under his floorboards, another citizen of the year. We'll get to him later. He was also an amateur painter, and he used to do. So here's a crazy thing I found: John Wayne Gacy painting Charles Manson. Can you imagine? So this is a painting that John Wayne Gacy did. This is creepy on top of creepy. He actually signed a Gacy of Charles Manson. Wasn't. Wow, that blows my mind. So here it is. So we're going to put him out. I call him Little Manson. He's got his prison uniform on. I actually stenciled on here. He's got his actual prison number, which was his calling card, B33920. He's got his little moccasins on that he would have in 1969 when he was arrested. His little prison uniform. Charles Manson was 5'4". So when you see pictures of him, his shirts are always really big, and I kind of kept it that way because everything was too big on the guy. I put his little later. He first carved a cross in his head, and then he changed it later to a swastika because he was just that kind of guy. So here's my little Manson, and he's going to be up for sale and adoption, horrific adoptions that is, hopefully tomorrow. If he cooperates, he hasn't been cooperating, but if he cooperates with me, we'll get him to you guys ASAP. I think that is all I want to share with you. I have so much to do today. I got to skit and to doodle. Thank you so much to all my Twisted Tug family. It was a pleasure to meet all of the people that I met this week. Raymond in New York City, who adopted Rotten Rosie, and he has, I'll get the information for you later, an amazing YouTube channel with all his horrific collection. Frankie in Vegas has been a loyal Twisted Tug follower and fan. Frankie's adopted a few creeps. Colton is out there with her Gabby the Ghost Girl. I know I'm forgetting a bunch of them, but thank you to all the new people that have joined the Twisted Tug train. So much to come. Gacy, I finished this weekend. Ed Gein, I don't even know if I want to sell Ed Gein. He came out oh my God. Wait till you see Ed Gein. I might keep him. Robert the Doll is finished. So these are all, I had a busy weekend, like I said, so these are all guys that are coming your way. We got all little new creeps that are original Ghost Girls and ventriloquist puppets and all kinds of little Twisted Tug characters from Twisted Tugville, from Possumville, I call it. You guys have an amazing, amazing week. Thank you for taking a few minutes of your time to have a little cup of coffee with me. And remember, as always, stay twisted.